It should be in the intro. You got it, Jack? Okay.
Hello, we're live, Ken.
Hello, good evening.
Right, okay. Can you hear me loud and clear? Well, good evening, Sky Blue fans, and welcome back to Sky Blue Fans TV. On tonight's show, we've got plenty to get through, so let's crack on. It does help if I press the button that lets me hear people speak.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Well, first up, we'll be talking about the retained list and any surprises, who's staying, who's going, and what does it mean for the squad moving forward. Then we'll turn our attention to season ticket prices, always a hot topic. Are the prices fair and are fans getting value for money? We'll be sharing our thoughts and hearing yours. Next, we'll be looking ahead to the fixture release dates and the start of the new season. I can't wait, personally. Also tonight, a quick word of congratulations to Sunderland. We'll be chatting briefly about their playoff final win and what we made of the game. And while we're on playoffs, a special mention to Matty Godden and Charlton Athletic, who came out on top in the League One playoff final. And we'll be joined in Birmingham City and Wrexham in the Championship next season. Great to see Matty back in the second tier and familiar face to us, and we wish him all the best until he comes to the CBS. We'll also be picking up on the fantastic suggestion from Paul Cuttiford. How do we cope without football? It's not easy, is it? We all have our ways. Let us know how you manage those long days without football. And of course, anything else you want to bring up, pop it in the comments. We'll be reading them live and getting you involved. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, keeps the Sky Blues fan base buzzing all year round. And as you can see, we have our fantastic team here, Victoria, Ken and Jack, with tonight's chat. Sadly, Miles won't be joining us this evening. He's had a tough week. And we want to take a moment to send our love and best wishes to the close friend of Miles, Robin Fletcher, who suffered a stroke during the week. This week and is now recovering in hospital. Robin, we're all thinking of you. Stay strong, and I know the whole Sky Blue family is right behind you. Right then, let's get into it.
Can we just say, Claudio, happy 60th birthday?
Oh yeah, look.
Yeah,
there it is. Thank you very much. Yes, it's been an interesting week. I'm sorry about that. That's my fault. I was fiddling around doing stuff earlier, and I pressed the mute button.
Yeah, and he didn't even realise.
I know.
And you had the audacity to blame me and say it was my fault.
Hey, never blame yourself if you can blame somebody else first. So, obviously, we've had the retained list, haven't we? And
we have, yeah.
Put them up, Jack. I think most people have seen them, but I mean, there we are, the retained list. Obviously, I'm really surprised that people don't really understand how this works. You basically don't announce you're going to get rid of players that are under contract. That's not what happens. Basically, it's all players who are up for contract renewal, or basically that's it, isn't it? So, who did depart? Have we got that list? Have a look.
Yeah,
right, Jamie Patterson, Jack Burrows, Ryan Howley, Cyan Tyler, Aston Ellard, God, I never heard of him, Jaden Smith, Kane Ryan, and Dan Rachel. And of course, returning from loan, we got Kai Andrew, Justin Ubiku, Aidan Dash, and Ricardo Di Trollio. And those four lads have done quite well on loan, actually. So, you guys, starting with Ken, no surprises there, is there?
No, there's no surprises. Obviously, Patterson was only on a short-term deal, weren't he? So we probably didn't expect him to be kept on. Even though he did well, to be fair, at the time he was here. Perhaps he could have had a bit more game time, but that was just one of those things, you know. But we all remember him for that fantastic goal, won't we? Against Portsmouth in the last moments. So that's a fond memory for him. So yeah, he did a job for us, and that was it. But there's no surprise at all. Burrows and stuff, and the goalkeeper. No surprise at all there. I just want a little word about Jamie Allen. I was pleased Jamie Allen got offered an extension. They obviously triggered his option. So he's got another year with us, because I think Frank liked Jamie Allen because he did well when he came on, and and substituted for people who were injured and stuff. He did a good job for us, and he played really well. And I think Lampard was very impressed with him.
Well, he stepped in when we had no midfielders, Ken. So I think he did a good job. It's not a favourite player, but and he's been captain a few times this season, so it would have been a surprise had they let him go. But now I suppose when he gets to January, if they do decide to let him go, then they're going to get some cash for him, aren't they? A bit like Matty Godden now that he's back in the championship. We're going to get some money from that, apparently. Jack, any surprises for you? Anybody you'd think that they may have held on to?
No, not at all. I think the only one that you could have really thought we might hold on to was Patterson, to be honest. But he wasn't given enough time. He wasn't started in a single game. Yes, he scored a wonderful goal and gave us a fantastic moment of the season for me, I think. But the fact that he wasn't trusted with longer minutes off the bench or even as a start, it just proves that he wasn't right for us in the long run. He was good enough in the short run and obviously got us that goal. But I'd say here he's the potentially only one that you'd have thought might stick around. Burrows, Howley, they've been given their chances, haven't they? And on loan as well, minutes for us a few times, but they were given their chances on loan spells, failed to impress, failed to break through, failed to come upwards. And, they both ended up playing in Scotland, which is not even the same sort of level as the Championship. And if we want to be at the top end of the Championship, players like Howley and Burrows just won't cut it, unfortunately. So I think the right decision all round, and brilliant, like Ken says about Alan getting the extra year. I think he's a really, really useful utility player.
I think, Vicky, the writing's on the wall for some players when they've been at the club a while and they've not really featured, have they? And it's a shame for Jack and Ryan Howley, because I thought they're quite decent, but they just didn't get the chance anyway, did they? So they're best moving on. And of course, Jack has now gone to Northampton Town on a 2-year deal. I think that's going to suit him nicely.
Yeah, nice early deal for him. It's a shame with Jack. I always quite liked him. I think, sadly, he's probably a victim of our success, isn't he? If we were sort of bottom end Championship, that's probably his level, pushing for promotion. It's just not him, unfortunately. So a nice quick move to got him settled. But yeah, so I think like Jack, I pretty much agree with everything Jack's just said. I think that no real surprises. But like you said, the retain list is the retain list. Those players are in the contract. It's not like who knows what's going to happen during the summer, but it's what it is, isn't it? It's hilarious, some of the comments about that. But anyway, and I think, Alan, again, great squad player. I think I've said more than once that for me, the midfield is the area we need depth. And so that another option there is what we need. So, pretty much across the board, what I expected, really.
It's interesting because the fact we don't have any loan players, the retain list and the release list is all a bit boring, isn't it? Because there's not like 10 players on the release list because not half of them aren't loans, which we used to have before, which is what Doug King was on about. So when you look at the list, it's like, was that it? There's only 5 or 6 names on it, and maybe some coming back from loan from elsewhere. So in some ways, it's better for us. Jack, can you put that retained list up again, please? Just want to have a look at it again.
That one, yeah. This the one you want?
Yeah. So obviously we've got sellable players. We know that, and there's some in there that you're kind of thinking, well, starting Monday or Sunday, whenever it starts, the first. Is there a 2-week window? Then it closes and opens again. Is that right? I
think it's 10 days, and I think it's because the Club World Cup starts on the 14th. So it's something like 11 days or really weird.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're looking at our list. Do you think that squad of players is going to be here come the first game of the season when we're probably going to get Birmingham at home or something ridiculous, aren't we? Some awful fixture just because the fact Sky have manipulated the fixtures to get some good games to start the season off. How many of those, which players do you think we are in danger of losing in the summer? Ken, who do you think?
Well, we're in danger of losing Radoni, aren't we, if a big money offer comes in? Not that I think he'll go.
What would you expect if it was you sat there negotiating?
No, I'd keep him. I don't think he'll want to go. I think he's 23, and I think he'll give another year. He's got plenty of time on his side, and he'll give it another go here. And if he can get us up next year, then that'd be brilliant. Maybe next year he might be looking, if we're in the same situation where we don't do anything, he might be looking to move on. But certainly at the moment, I think he's enjoying football under Lampard. He's come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he, since he's joined us? He had a bit of a slow start, but he's been brilliant the last, the rest of the season is brilliant. And I just can't see him going at this stage. But as we all know, money talks, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what if Everton come in, like they're saying, and they offer, 60,000 a week or something ridiculous? Not that they've got 60,000, anybody, to be honest. But what would be your price? What would you, if you had to let him go, what would you expect then?
Well,
what do you expect it'd go for?
I'd be looking 20, 25 million easy in today's market. He's got to look.
What do you think?
It's hard because, excuse me, is he as good a player as Hamer was for us? He's not far off, and he's definitely in that conversation. But Hamer only had 1 year left on his contract. Redoni's got 3.
Right. Yeah.
So with the value of a length of contract is second to none. If Victor Gyökeres had 3 years in his contract, that'd have been more than 20 million we got for him. So I think the value of Redoni should be higher than the value was for Hamer 2 years ago, based solely on the fact he's got 3 years left on a contract. So Ken's possibly right in the region of 20 million and a 10% sell-on clause, perhaps. That'd be good.
Before I ask Vicky, I wouldn't even look at anything under 25 million, to be honest. I think the lad went from Bristol City for heaps of money last season, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think he's anywhere near as good as Redoni. So, because Redoni was decent at Huddersfield as well, remember? It's not like it's just happened this season. He was their standout player, even though they got relegated. So what about you, Vicky? I mean, obviously Redoni, Milan's another one.
Yeah.
But sometimes, isn't it? Sometimes they come in for somebody you wouldn't expect to come in for.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Redoni and Milan, and then all of a sudden someone else will come and we'll just be like, well, we weren't expecting that. It's like Torp or somebody like this random that you're thinking, well, I never saw that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you about Redoni. I'd be at 25 plus easy, really 30 plus, I think. 3-year contract for what was one of the best players, like stats-wise in the Championship last year, like assists and goals. Like long-term contract, young player, prospect. I just think you're going to be saying, go away unless you're going to give us at least 30 million. I suppose it's a double thing, isn't it? You've got what the club will do, so Doug can play hardball, and we know from the deal with Vic that he can play hardball because people were saying he was never going to get 20 million, and he was like, I am getting 20 million, and he did, didn't he? So you'd like to think he'd do the same again and be like, this is my figure, and unless you match it, he's going nowhere. But obviously you've also got like the agent who is the bane of football, really, agents that get in the player's mind, and then it's whether Redoni then starts looking for so if he's happy and settles, then we can play hardball. If he starts talking about wanting to go, it just makes it harder, doesn't it? So I suppose that just depends how that pans out.
I'm going back to Victor. We had a feeling that night when he was with, I think, was it Mars who interviewed him? Wasn't it? At 7. We had a feeling he wasn't staying come the end of the season, regardless of what was happening. It sounded like he was going away. And I put that question to him, didn't I, from the floor, saying, are you looking forward to playing with us next season? He did say, if we get to the Premier League, I'm looking forward to playing with us in the Premier League. And I thought, well, there was a massive hint then that he wasn't staying. So, and with Hamer as well, I think, that people were dipping in there, weren't they? I think they're after him. Heads can get turned. That's happening in football all the time. So, anybody else? Wright, Sims, Asante? Do you think they're safe from staying?
Well, I think that they're all players that clubs could be looking at, and I guess it comes down to firstly, I guess Frank will have made a decision now, won't he? He's had 6 months. He knows the system he wants to play, and he knows the players, and I suppose he'll say to Doug, I'd be more happy if those players go than those players, and try and engineer it that way. I guess is the way that probably works out, isn't it? And I guess I suppose Wright is probably one of the more saleable assets that probably is also the more replaceable on the basis that we play him a lot on the left, and we've already got F on there, so that might be something. But it's difficult, isn't it? Because the starting 11 you just don't really want to lose anyone out of that, do you? Like the sort of key 11 and then sort of 12, 13, 14, so the sort of main subs. You want to keep the core of that, but it's just so difficult, isn't it? When you got clubs sniffing around with Premier League money and stuff like that, there's a battle we'll face every summer until we manage to get ourselves up there.
Right, you can, because obviously Wright's playing for the States, isn't he? Very soon, so he's got to put himself in the shop window if he wanted to leave.
Well, for me, if an offer came in for Hadji Wright, I would take it. I'd certainly consider it if it's the right offer. If we can get somebody in better than him to improve the team, then that would be beneficial. And these things happen. You never know. There might be somebody out there that's interested in him. There has been sort of rumours, hasn't there? But,
do you think? Because I did the quick bit of advertising. I did the season review with Jim Brown on the History podcast, and I think he mentioned that he played. I come with the figure now. It's not 26 matches, maybe, or 20, or he missed 26 matches, something like that. So it's almost like he's not had a lot of game time compared to some of the other players. But I think the problem is it's not so much if he's fit or not. It's the kind of attitude on the pitch, isn't it? He doesn't come across well, does he?
No, his body language is poor. I mean, it doesn't look good when you're watching it on telly, especially. His body language comes across the wrong way, but I'm sure that might be different. You know, I mean, we're guessing really, aren't we? And I'm sure he's, he's fully committed to the club, which I'm sure he would tell everybody he would. He is. But when you watch him as a fan, and I just think in them two massive games in that semi-final, those two semi-finals, I personally don't think he did enough. I don't think he stepped up as I would have expected him to. For whatever reason, there might be other reasons we don't know about. But for me, I don't think he did enough in them two games.
Jack, what about you on our forward line then? Do you think leave it is and maybe strengthen elsewhere?
I think we've got a big issue on our hands in the fact that we all think we've got a terrible squad with useless players, unsellable assets, but we came fifth in the sixth best league in the world. That's not bad. It depends how we want to go about it. Do we want to do the Brighton and Brentford model, which obviously worked in the long run, of sell the best players, rake in as much money as possible, and replace them with 3 or 4 players? Or do we want to hold on to our assets and try and improve on the Deadwood's not the right word, but the squad players, let's improve on the squad players that we have. And then do you go for business decisions or do you go for football decisions? Like Louis Binks is a decent player, but we think he's our highest earner on about 30k. So the obvious answer would be cash in on Louis for whatever we can get for him and free up 30k of wages, and you could get 2 players between them on that, or 1.5 players perhaps with those wages. Or do you see Louis Binks as better than Latabaudiere and therefore go Latabaudiere needs to leave and we need to bring in another centre-half that's going to improve the squad in that way? Or do you get rid of both? It's like we're not playing a game of Football Manager here. This is real life and it's not easy. So we can't just go about our business in a willy-nilly effect. It needs to be structured. I'm sure Doug's got plans and Frank's got plans. Whether they work out or not is a completely different story. But looping back to your question on the strikers, I get why people want to sell Hadji, because he's the most sellable asset, like we've all said. But he's our best striker. I mean, that might not be saying a lot, but he is our best striker statistically. And, Frank's given him so many chances on his own when he's fit because he's clearly our best striker. And he has these moments where he shows it. So selling Hadji, is that not the same as selling Rodoni-ish? Because if we're selling our best striker, we've then got to fall back on Sims, Nasante and Bissett, who we all kind of think aren't good enough. So if we sell Hadji because he's sellable, do we also have to sell Sims and Asante? So that means a whole clear out in the front line. It's just not realistic and it's not going to happen. So to me, Hadji has to stay. Sims can leave personally. Sorry, Vicky. Asante has shown not a lot, but he's got a bit of pace which Sims doesn't have. So I'd potentially keep Asante over Sims. But again, this is all reliant on the fact that we need someone else in. goal scoring wasn't necessarily the problem this year. It's the defence. So for me, prioritise sorting the defence out and midfield again. Keep the same strikers and we will get better. It's as simple as that.
And also, Frank has kind of decided on towards the back end of the season who his defence wasn't it? He didn't play Binks and Latibaudier and Bidwell unless he really had to. So for me, all three could be in danger of being moved on, basically, to make room for other people. Should we go to comments? Because I can see there's loads, and I'm not doing these comments. I'm just going to sit back and relax now. So you three can argue over who's going to do the comments.
Okay, I'll start with the comments. There's quite a few coming in. We'll try and get them done a bit quicker than Claudia used to do them. Where we are we? David M. Hello, everybody. Just joined from Arizona, USA. Oh, that's nice out there. Thank you. Hello, David M. I hope you're well. I'll try and put them up. Do you want me to put them up? Anyone heard? Scarborough Sam, anybody heard about the new CEO coming in? Mike Oxlong. Replacing the table.
You've been had.
Well, no, I haven't heard actually. But no. Talking about Taylor, by the way, just a little bit about Taylor. Were we all surprised that he's gone? Because we didn't know much about him, did we?
Have they announced it yet?
Well, they haven't, no. But apparently it's happening.
Yes.
Do you know anything?
Well, there's a big rumour that it's happening. Yes, very soon, but we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Well, it's come out on the line. I've heard loads of reports that he's actually left the club already. Which is
it's a bit annoying because I've been dealing with him. But there you go. Let's build another.
Well, nobody knows much about him, to be honest. He never really got involved with the fans, did he? He never. Nobody heard him speak hardly, to be honest. He came in with the big, this, that, and the other he was going to do. But to be honest, for me, I hardly know the bloke. He's not spoke to any of the fans. I've not seen him come in a press conference and speak about what his job is, what he's supposed to be there to do. He's just come and gone.
He's operations manager, but we know.
But he's supposed to take over from Dave Boddy. Dave Boddy's a completely different guy. Dave Boddy was in the press nearly every day or every other day saying this, that, and the other. Never heard anything from John.
Doug's in charge. Simple.
Well, but he's supposed to be his right-hand man, isn't he?
Well, I'm not even sure he's his right-hand man. I think it's just another operative.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Anyway, get back to the comments.
Anyway, he obviously didn't last very long. Graham Cockrell, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Graham. Comical boxer, no football. Let's have a look. No football. It's obviously all about netball. Yeah. Wayne Ghost. Hi, guys. If Rudy goes, I'll try and get them up when I read them. If Rudy goes, it has to be the Premier to a Prem side. Anyone other than Sheffield United and Leicester, though. Yeah, absolutely. We don't want them pitching on any more of our players. They've had enough of them over the years. Trevor Merriman. Good evening, Trevor. Good to see you got the technical issues sorted, Claudia.
It was just a button. I forgot to press the button. It's
the most important button.
Yeah. Well, not really. You could hear me. I couldn't hear you. I was quite happy.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's good. We could have just muted you and carried on. Lee Beckett, good evening all. Season tickets sorted. Well, yeah, we'll talk about the season tickets in a bit. They're going quite well, so we're hearing. Peter Dolan, good evening, Peter. Good evening, guys. Looking forward to any signings. I'm purchasing my Premier season ticket. Ooh, okay. Mark Rainbow, good evening, Mark. Claudia, do you qualify for a concession season ticket now?
No, not yet.
Quite. 65, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, they moved it, didn't they?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, unfortunately.
I was rubbing my hands and then they moved it.
That's a shame. Who else we got? What's this one? Salva renewed my season ticket this morning. Okay. Wayne Littlewood. Good evening, Wayne. How are you? Claudia, did you buy a season ticket on the Peasant End or the Prawn Sandwich area?
I've got one in the Block 18 still.
He's gone back to it. He's gone to his normal seat for now.
For now,
yeah. Shane Darlow, good evening, Shane. Alan is a fantastic squad player. Yeah, agree with that. Lee Dan, good evening, Lee. Evening all. Nice to keep this going pre-season. Looking forward to some new signings. Yeah, well, aren't we all, mate? They hopefully be coming sooner rather than later. Dave Sports photos. The absence of football, I might watch Women's Euros.
I was going to say something, then I won't.
No? Okay. Simon Hargreaves. I've just purchased my season ticket, the first since the last season at Highfield Road. So it would be interesting, actually, to see how many new season ticket holders we get now that Lampard's here, whether it's going to attract any more newbies, people that haven't had a season ticket in the past. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Any more comments, Ken, or are you stopping there?
I'm stopping there for now, then let you carry on.
Right. Well, yes, season tickets, finally. They're releasing. Yeah, gone are the days when they used to announce this. I've been sorting out some. By the way, if anybody collects programs, I've got so many spares from the 60s to the present day. If you need any, just let me know. And as long as it's not a ridiculous amount, then I'll be glad to negotiate with you.
And he might even deliver them to you as well. How about that?
Well, I don't know about that. I was looking through the programs, and I purposely was trying to find ones at the back end of the season. And first thing was, I think I put it on the social media on Facebook. The last Premier League ticket I bought, it was for £400. That's 2001.
Is that this one? Oh no, there's this one as well. You've got
well that one there. What the price is on there? This is 98.99, isn't it?
98.99.
£393 for an adult, 197 for a junior or OAP.
Wow!
In the early bird.
In those days, they used to do a straight half price for OAPs and kids. They've changed it since then, but still, I mean that probably equates about £800 now. If on real terms, as they say. So I mean, put up today's list. So there we go. Here we go. You've all seen it, and mine is £440 basically. It's gone up £40, which I think I predicted around about 10%, which is what it was because it was £400 last year. So I'm not surprised at all. And it's £19.10 a match, which is an absolute bargain. We're seeing, top six football, aren't we? We're in the top six most seasons now, or thereabouts. So, the only exceptions here is the in the kids stand, isn't it? Where the adults, they've bumped the prices up, haven't they? So they fall in line with everybody else. Now I'm being told this is because there were still people who were going in the ground, not taking the kids. But the idea was if you sat in the family stand, you sat with a child, and they're still going in there and getting a ticket for £250. Is that what you guys have heard as well?
Yeah, and that's why they've increased the prices for the adults in that section, haven't they?
Yeah, because back in the day, if you're an adult, you paid the full price and your kid paid half price. But I mean, the kids' prices are so cheap, aren't they? I think. So,
mine stayed at 500. I mean, I paid the £500 one, so mine obviously don't go up anyway for 5 years. So it was stuck at 500 regardless.
And the ones who paid £550, no one's season ticket is going to go beyond that until 2 years.
Yeah,
because they're not going to make me pay more than the Premier League package are paying at the minute. It just won't work out that way. So next year, I'm already expecting 480. And then the following year, that's where it changes.
Yeah.
So I'm not. Are you all happy? What I mean, obviously,
I'm more than happy with the price. I think they're quite reasonable compared with other clubs.
Well, you were paying 480 before, weren't you, Vicky?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I've got the Premier League one now, so I knew it was going to be 500. But yeah, but I would be 440 where I sit. So, yeah, I mean, I've paid more for less. I paid more to go and watch some real dross. So at the minute, it's pretty good value for money, I think. But I mean, £500 is still about £21 a match, which is still good value for what we're getting.
Yeah.
So if you got 440, about £17, I'm paying about £21 a match. But I was paying around that and watching some absolute dire football, and it became a real chore. So I was thinking at the moment we're laughing with it, aren't we? Decent football, decent atmosphere, everything on the up for decent value. I think.
I'll tell you what, Vicky, going through old programme really brings it home to you how rubbish we've been over the years in the last 25 years. Some seasons, in fact, I didn't recognise some of the players on the front cover. It was that bad. I thought, who's this bloke? You know. Michael Dawes quite funny. You can see him getting older on the covers as the seasons go on. He's getting, losing his hair and getting a bit older. But he went like.
You have to forget some of them, otherwise you get PTSD, don't you? You've got to try and forget. You have to blank some of the seasons out of your memory.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any comments on the season tickets, Ken?
Yeah, there is. Wade Littlewood's actually just put a comment up about it.
You're not renewing.
Our season ticket. Oh no. Our season ticket prices are fantastic value. How anybody can moan at these prices, unbelievable. Less than £20 a game is brilliant. Quite agree. And also Simon Hargreaves says, I think Sheffield Wednesday wants 700. Spoke to a Swindon fan today, and they want 400 in League Two. Swindon.
Leamington FC, it's £15 on the day. That's 17 football.
Well, that's brilliant.
Yes.
It's brilliant, I think.
And the majority of the fan base can't be too upset with the prices because we've already hit 5,000 season tickets.
Yes.
In 8 hours. So unbelievable.
That is fantastic. Fantastic, that is.
Any more comments on the tickets?
We've got one from the Leicestershire Sky Blue. Considering getting a season ticket last season they had one was 0809. 440 isn't bad value. No, it's brilliant value, mate. So I'd get one, and I think quicker the better, really, because they're going quick.
When Coleman was in charge, that was the price of the season ticket. In fact, it's gone down from the in the noughties. The ticket's gone down. Getting relegated.
What goes down? Nothing goes down.
Getting relegated to League Two was a plus, wasn't it, for us in terms of season ticket prices, because they had to drop the prices down to get people to get in the ground again. So there's plus and minuses, there's ups and downs, isn't there? Any more comments, Ken, on the tickets?
Not on the tickets, I don't think. I can't see any more on the tickets, but
How many did we sell in the end last? How many did we sell in the end last season? What did we hit? Was it 21 last season?
22.
22, yeah, that's not, yeah.
So if everyone renews, there's space for 2,000 more people, then it'd be interesting to know how many of those 5,000 are renewals and how many are new people.
There will be a cap of 24,000 season tickets for the 25-26 campaign, so make sure you move quickly and secure your place. So, it looks like they are putting the cap 24,000.
Can you believe that? 8 years ago, we'd just been relegated to League Two, and we couldn't even get 10,000 in the ground. We averaged, was it about 8,500 that season? 8 years on, we're saying we are going to put a cap on season tickets because too many of you want to buy it. If that doesn't scream positivity, I don't know what does.
The thing is, as well, Jack, even when I was back in the 90s, when we were in the Premier League and we all had season tickets, we weren't getting stuff like that going on even back in those days. This is like unprecedented for lots of us. I mean, I don't know, what was it like back in the sort of 60s, 70s, Claudio, for season tickets?
Whoa. What's it like in the 60s? Well, I can tell you now, because of the preview of the season me and Jim did, if you want to go and listen to it, this last season is the best season, average attendance at home, since the promotion year to get into the old Division 1 and the 3 seasons afterwards, when we eventually in 69-70 we got to Europe. This is like the 4th or 5th best season ever for attendances last season. I mean, that's incredible, I think, considering we can't get any more on the ground. So the chances are we will hopefully top the average next season. It won't be by much, but it could happen. It could happen.
Paul Stratton, I've just seen a comment. If Doug comes in with a couple of early quality signings, season ticket sales will go through the roof. Which I can see that happening. I mean, if we make a couple of decent signings, people who are sitting on the fence might say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go get them." And then before you know it, we're at 24,000.
In fairness, Ken, if we sell any more, they will be sitting on the fence, won't they?
Well, they will be sitting on the fence. We're looking to get in.
I think it's great, and no doubt we'll get the moaning about the car parks and all the rest of it when we got a full ground. It's like if it's not one thing, it's another, isn't it? But no, it's marvelous. It's marvelous, and it's what we need. It just makes for a great atmosphere. And our home record last season: 14 wins at home, 3 draws, 6 losses. It's just a shame. The 3 losses that really kind of annoyed me was Norwich, Sheffield Wednesday, and Derby. Which really, if there had been 3 draws, you're looking at 14 wins, 6 draws, 3 losses, of which 2 would have been against Burnley and Leeds. That's one hell of a season, isn't it, at home?
And Swansea at home as well under Mark Robbins. That was another 1-0 loss.
Yeah, and so basically under Frank, we've lost 2 games at home against the two best teams by a country mile in the division, basically.
3 if you count playoffs.
Forget the playoffs in the league, and but
that's why it's important. We need a good start. That when the fixtures come out, we need a good start, and we've all had a slow start, as you know, the last couple of seasons.
And it's our best home points tally since we won the FA Cup that season. So it's the second best home tally ever in the history of Coventry City Football Club. So it just shows you what other clubs have to, like Leeds, who won was it 90 points they got?
Yeah.
You basically almost have to do the same away from home. It's tough to get out of this league. You probably need to win about 10 away games as well, don't you? As well as 14 at home. I worked out once, you need to win about 28 matches, I reckon, to secure runner-up at least. That puts you on a good footing, a good grounding to get up. So that's probably what we need next season if we want to go automatics.
Yeah.
So get signing, Doug. Let's get these players in. Any more comments, Ken?
There's a few comments, yeah. Let's have a look.
I imagine there's loads.
There is quite a few, to be fair. Let me just see where I left off.
Dave just answered my question. David, let me just bring this up while Ken's trying to find something else. So,
no, Tom.
So Dave just said about the 70s. Because the 70s were a strange period. We started with crowds of around 26k. Then it was almost a consistent drop of around a K a season, taking us to around 16k by the end of the decade. And then did it improve much in the 80s? Because obviously I started going in around 93, and I feel like it was only around about that sort of figure then.
What happened was we lost 5,000 straight away when Jamil brought in the all-seater stadiums. Because the attendance was reduced that much, and it was hard to buy tickets. It was absolute nonsense. Yeah. And it wasn't until Big Ron turned up. I mean, obviously we had the cup run where you were forced to get a season ticket, so you could get a cup final ticket.
Yeah.
But even then, the following year, by the end of the season, we were back down again to about 15,000. But we're only getting 20,000 anyway, because the ground only held 23, 24 then.
Yeah.
But then it dropped down again. Of course, when Big Ron turned up, that put about 5,000 on the gate straight away. So, yeah, it hasn't been great, and it's like a rebirth, isn't it? When they say the Phoenix has risen, this time it truly has in terms of the fan base.
Yeah,
I had, as you know, and Jack and Ken, they were there. I had my doing Borsal Common basically on Sunday. Sorry for those who didn't get an invite, but my agent, my wife dealt with all that. So the guy was talking, and this is Borsal Common. Now, when I first moved here, it was Villa and Blues, and he says the most watched team now in the clubhouse there, the cricket club, is Coventry City. That's when there's more people in there than any other team when they're on live. So it just shows you how it's changed. It's definitely changed. The fan base has improved massively.
You can tell as well, can't you? Just when you're walking around the streets and stuff, like when in the 90s, as you're modelling one there, but people wearing shirts so much often now, can't you?
I'll tell you a little bit of story about the shirt, because I had to go and get the shirt. Now we're going to get the blue one, but they didn't have the lettering for the blue one. Unfortunately, the shirt was blue with the red, but the lettering wasn't for the blue. They were missing some letters, so that was no good. So then I moved on to the black, which was fine, but then they didn't have the numbers for the black. So you ended up with the white one, which is the shirt obviously we haven't won in all season. But I thought that suits you, because every time you go, we don't win anyway.
I know. Yeah, it's amazing that I could fit into a small, wasn't it, as well? That's incredible.
That was a double XL, that one.
Right, any more comments, Ken?
Yeah, Finn. Good evening, mate. If we keep our best players, add 3 or 4 more quality, get off to a great start. No reason why we can't get to the autos. Yeah, I'll probably agree with that, mate. Dawn Cook. Good evening, Dawn. I'm hoping all the people who ask week on week for tickets buy a blooming season ticket this year, so we don't have to keep seeing there. Please, yes. Go on, go buy a season ticket. Now's your chance. They've got one Gavistar. Yeah, I'd like to as well, but we're on a British owner with plenty of cash with investing us. I think he's on about Doug King. And on the up, good evening on the up, Martin, I think that is. Hi team, Claudio. Where's that European programme? You promised me. Anyway, happy 90th birthday. You got it there? There we go. Marty's got it for you.
Miles, but Miles says you don't know his address.
I know where he lives. You give it to me and I'll drop it off for him.
I've had them for weeks. They're here. Martin, they're here.
Okay, that's all right. Where are we? Cameron Di Rossi. He's got to be Italian, surely. Napoli are the champions.
Yeah, four times. Yeah. So Scott McTominay is a hero along with Diego Maradona. Who'd have thought it?
Now, of course, you're not a Napoli fan. You're Juventus, are you?
Yeah, Juventus. Yeah.
So you weren't very happy about them winning, were you? But I suppose Nathan Canley Carper Sullivan. It's a long name. Got my ticket today in Pauper's Corner. Yeah. Wayne Ghost. Maybe we can stay, and we are Gavin, seek outside investment from reputable businessmen, not crooks from the Middle East. Well, yeah, possibly. We'll see. Rich Taylor. Good evening, Rich. Evening all. What do you make of the cap on the season ticket sales? Well, I suppose they've got to put a cap on it, haven't they? Will you agree with that, putting a cap on it, or would you agree?
Because you can't, because of the FA Cup, you got a choice of 50. You can give up to 15% of tickets to away fans, or you could argue you can't because of safety reasons. But which means the people behind the goal have to move somewhere, and if you've sold out the ground, you can't move them. So, and also you're maximising money as well, aren't you? If you think about it, if you as everyone's going to come in at £19 a ticket, whereas at least there's 4,000 seats or probably more available at the higher price for the big games.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it's a bit of that as well.
Joiner, excuse me. Joiner Fat Cat. Good evening, mate. I've spent that on one single NFL game ticket in America. Great value. So there you go.
Yeah, go and look at Joiner's Jonah's TikToks. Now he's our American side of Sky Blue.
Yeah,
Jonah, if you rewind the show a little bit, you get Ken saying something really funny. Stick that on TikTok, mate. That'll do well.
I can't remember what was that. I can't remember that. My throat's going now. Cameron Di Rossi on TV. The stadium looks great with the fans wearing the home jersey. Doesn't look great. Few fans wearing black. Well, I suppose that's people's opinion of the kits and that, isn't it? But most of them, I think everybody, I want everybody, but I think most fans buy the home kit, don't they, when it comes out, and then they buy the black one as an addition one, and then a lot of people buy all three, but they choose as and when to wear them. But it is nice when it's all sky blue. I must admit, it looks really nice, and that's down to people's personal opinion, I suppose, on what kit they want to wear.
Ken sounds like Ethel from Coronation Street. Ethel, what's it? What's the name? Who's the one with the throat? It's not Ethel, is it? I'm thinking of EastEnders.
I'm thinking Phil Mitchell.
Who's the one who used to go Petty? That one. I can't think of a name.
No, I can't remember that. I know what you mean though. Paragon, good evening. I've got Premier ticket. Don't mind paying a little bit extra, but would like access issue sorted and better stewardship. Local stewardship seems good, but agency stewards are very poor. Now I've had that complaint of a few people because the stewards at the Cov ground now are agency, and a lot of them come from Birmingham or surrounding areas. Whereas at Highfield Road, where I used to be a steward years ago, we were all local. We were all like.
What was your technique, Ken? Your pat down technique? What was it?
Well, no, I didn't search. I was actually in the stadium, telling people where to sit. So I wasn't outside; I was inside, and so we had to deal with the issues if there's any issues. And I was in the away end for a few seasons as well, which is a bit interesting when Leeds came and Portsmouth and a few others to name. Did
you actually see much of the game? Because you meant to watch the crowd, aren't you?
Yeah, you're supposed to. No, I did. From where I was quite lucky. I seen most of the game from where I was standing. Yeah. I was on the exit and I was looking
out. There's fights going on behind him, but he was watching the game. It was okay.
I must mention this. I'll just put this up quickly. Miles wanted me to mention this. He's 70s Disco Fever, yes. Fancy on 31st of May. The Old Shepherd, Kersley Coventry, DJ Milesy. 7:30.
Yeah, get down there because it's going to be a brilliant night. I might even go down there myself.
And hoping to use that as a venue, aren't we, at some stage?
Yeah, it is a brilliant venue. It's a nice pub, nice crowd of people, and I'm sure they'll have a fantastic night there with Milesy and his 70s. I'm not sure what he's dressing up as, but
you suppose
it'd be interesting.
I saw there's a couple of good comments here if I can find them. One from Gavin Collins. It's quite a long one. If I can just. I can't find it now. Oh, there's two here, Ken. I'll just read them out quickly. I've got them here. Mark Rainbow, we need to expand the squad. So in theory, I'd keep everyone and add players. We all know we need, but in reality, I know we will be cashing in on at least 3 players to create the cash for better quality players we need to add. I don't care as long as you get the money in. Gavin Collins, hi all. Collins has to go, not only for our benefit, but he has his career here is done. Think Heaton available, which would be a decent addition until Dovin fit again. Can see Robbins coming in for Eccles and Latty. We need an experienced defender to bring the rest along. Of course, we forgot to mention the fact we've got our keeper missing, and we really do with an experienced keeper coming in, couldn't we? Unless we just stick with Ben.
I think he'll stick with Ben for now. I really do, and wait for Dovin to get fit and concentrate on other parts of the team. That's what I think he'll do.
Gavin says, Doug won't sell cheap. I'd be in the false economy to sell the best players. Now's the time to go all in. Remember, we finished 5th and had a horrendous start. Keep the nucleus, add a couple of quality players with Frank at the wheel, and we'll be up there. So
that's the thing, though, Claudio, isn't it? Like Gavin's made a good point there, because people keep on saying about, oh, this squad's terrible. We've got all these bad players apparently, but like the majority of these players. So we finished 5th last season and hit the playoffs. Season before, majority of the same players. FA Cup semi-final, finished 9th. Some of those players were even here the season before another playoff. So these are players that over 3 seasons or at least 2 seasons have generally been like punching at the right end of the table. And we've got like Hadji Wright, who's like the 3rd best goal scorer in the Championship over the last 2 seasons. Even Sims is 15th. So we've got players like at the right end of all the stats, and we're all going. Well, not all of us, but some people are saying this isn't like the squad isn't good enough. The players aren't good enough. And you think, well, they're proving the opposite, really, aren't they? And so I think that we want to be keeping as many as possible and just add in. So to try and just get us over that next level, like we just hit a bit of a stumbling block, haven't we? We can get to the playoffs. We just need to get to the Premier League now and just a bit of depth. Because if we could be like Sunderland and secured our playoff position earlier and invested some players like they did and go, so everyone was thinking that Sunderland were in a bad position because they were in bad form, but actually they just were on holiday, weren't they? Really getting ready to do a job, and whereas we were still fighting until the last game of the season. So what we want to be is saved in the playoffs all season, and then you get towards the end and you're just like, right, okay, ready for the final, we're going to win it, promotion, here we come.
Well, also, it's the same for all clubs and all fans. You're more critical of your own team, aren't you? And then you hear people talk about your team and say, "Oh, they're fantastic. They're really such a strong side." But of course, we watch them on a regular basis, and you just pick fault, don't you? It's easy to pick fault than to pick the good bits. And I listen to other teams other fans talk about their clubs, and they're exactly the same. Like Sunderland saying they're going to get hammered when it comes to playing us in those 2 games, and it never happened, did it?
No, I suppose as well on the flip side. So we're talking about players that we want from other clubs that we think are better than our players, but we only see like the highlights of those players probably playing like since they've scored a goal, so that it shows. So we don't see what they've done for the other like 89 minutes, which might be absolute dross and we'd all be moaning about. So it's that we don't see enough of these players, do we? And so it's sort of a flip to both sides of that, really, isn't there?
Definitely. Now, of course, did you all watch the playoff final?
Yes.
I was in the field.
You in the field? Well, I was really angry. I've got to say that. I almost took it like it was just they were lost, because I just thought, we were watching that game and I was thinking the way Sheffield United started, I thought, well, they're going to get a couple here, and in fact, I think a bit unlucky, because obviously in a league match that would have stood because there was no VAR. They'd just given a goal, wouldn't they? But that second one that was chalked off. But I just thought, in a one-off game, we really missed an opportunity, didn't we? And I think we could have had a go. We all thought, oh, it don't matter if we get through or not, we're not going to do it. But in a one-off game, and
it just shows you. Yeah,
they proved, and the winning goal. I mean, he took it nicely, but it was a daisy cutter, wasn't it? I thought, how has that gone in? On reflection, Sunderland deserved it, because I thought they completely dominated that second half. Sheffield United
decided when Hamer went off, the game changed, didn't it? The game swung in their favour. Yeah,
well, Berrett and Diaz came on trying to do the job that Hamer does. Can't do that. No. And Callum O'Hare, wow, he didn't figure at all, did he? He hardly touched the ball. And right at the end, when he had to make a pass out wide, he just kicked it out of touch, didn't he? I thought, well, there you go then. And so I don't know what you thought, Ken. Did you watch it?
I watched it, and I thought going into the game, I thought Sheffield would hammer them, to be honest, because we've seen Sunderland over the last 2 games, and they were very lucky. And I thought they can't be that lucky again, surely. And so lo and behold, they were, weren't they? The game changed in the second half. I thought the turning point was that second goal for Sheffield, because I don't think they would have come back from 2-0 down. I think if that Sheffield goal would have counted and it went to VAR, I think Sheffield would have gone and won it. But the fact that it was only 1-0, and 1-0 is a very dodgy scoreline, as we all know. Games can change on a 1-0, and it did. They got back into it, 1-1, and then all of a sudden, you think, hold on a minute, they could sneak another goal here and win it, and exactly what they did. Hamer went off injured. They seemed to collapse. The subs that came on didn't really make any impact for Sheffield, and fair play to Sunderland. They took advantage, and they got the goal, and they looked a little bit stronger in the last sort of 15 minutes or so, didn't they? And
it is interesting, Ken, that Sheffield were cramping up and getting injured. That was the other thing as well. They were losing players, weren't they?
Yeah.
So I just thought he done them over like he did us, basically.
He got his tactics spot on, I think, in the end. And Mr. Wilder had to cry into his cup of tea at the end, didn't he? He was very happy, but there you go. That's football.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It'd be interesting if he stays there in the summer. What happens? But
Jack, I think I just want to say about Hamer. I think Hamer will go. I don't think Hamer will stay there. It's just a matter of time now, and it'd be interesting to see if they replace him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we've got a sell on for Hamer, Jack.
I don't know, to be honest. I don't even think we've received the full 15 million fee.
I think it's still over.
I think it's 5 million per summer, and this is the 3rd summer, so I believe we're due 5 million now for him, and I don't think there's a sell-on clause, but we don't know that for fact. So in theory, I saw a comment earlier, I forget who it was, I should have started it, said, do we have funds to bring in players before we sell? And the short answer is, it depends on other business. So we've had Matty Godden get promoted, which I'm sure we'll mention soon. I believe we're in for was it $1 million, Claudio, for that?
I think 500,000, something like that.
Half a mil. We've got 10% on Gyökeres, and they reckon 50 plus mils. There's another 5 mil. And then if we've got 5 mil coming in for Hamer, we're looking at £10 million of disposable income before we do anything. And obviously we've let Tavares go, we've let Pato go, and 3 or 4 of the youth players. So a little bit of wages here and there we've saved. So all in all, we could, with what money we have available, we can in theory go and buy 1 star player for that cash and those wages, and we wouldn't have to sell anyone. And that's just to add to the squad. So we could think of it as a positive manner like that.
I suppose it's whether Doug King puts his hand in his pocket and then takes the money back. Because, I mean, there is that aspect. But did you watch the game, Jack? The playoff final?
I watched the second half, and I do just think that Hamer going off was the distance. Sunderland were definitely coming back into the game. But whenever that ball seemed to sort of pinball around the midfield, there was Hamer, and he got it, and he played a long ball through for Sheffield United to go on the counter-attack. And when he went down injured, he was even playing passes above his head with his foot that he was injured with, which is just shows you the levels he's at. And,
how well did he do for that first goal, by the way?
Yeah, unbelievable.
And setting up that first goal, he was brilliant, weren't he? And
then when he went off, it was like Joe Bellingham seemed a little bit anonymous throughout the game. And when Hamer went off, it's like Joe just was like, oh, I've got no one marking me now, and I can go and play a bit more. And that was one of the main reasons that the midfield just opened up for Sunderland, and they managed to create more because they had the ball in midfield at their own feet, not Hamer's.
That's interesting. When he did get injured, when he hurt himself, he played that ball through where the guy should have scored, and that would have been 2-0. And then he could have gone off injured, and they were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
You know, it's
very fine margins, isn't it?
It is very, very fine margins. Vicky, you were obviously in the field, weren't you?
Yeah. So I just was checking out scores on my phone. So I didn't actually. I've seen some of I've watched some of the highlights since. I think for me, so it's difficult to comment entirely because I haven't seen the whole game. But for me, it feels like the Sunderland manager got it spot on for 3 games in a row. Tactically, has done a job on us twice and Sheffield United once, and of course they've had a bit of luck along the way, because you do need that, don't you? All clubs need a little bit of luck at the right time, like maybe a goal at the right moment or an injury to an opposition player at the right moment. So things like the Milan mistake and the Hamer going off injured are all like bits of luck that have gone in Sunderland's favour. But you've got to work to get that luck as well, don't you? And take advantage of it. And it feels like they did. And so with a slightly begrudging there, you have to say well done to them, don't you?
Yeah, and well, we've got Sheffield United next season. That was another reason I was disappointed, because I just thought if Sunderland hadn't got promoted, the chances are they had to sell 3 players. They've already said they were probably going to. And now we've got Sheffield United, who's still in our league. They've still got money. I don't know what they're going to do with whether or not they have to get rid of anybody, but they might not do. You know, it depends how much these players want to leave and play in the Premier League. But I mean, apart from Hamer, how many? And maybe Burrows. There's not many I'd pick out that squad to go back and play in the Premier League. So it'd be interesting. It will be interesting what happens in the close season. Right then, any more comments, Ken, before we go on to our next little subject?
Finn reckons there'll be 28,000 tickets will be sold, but there is a cap on there, Finn, 24. So. Dave Saunders, the £8 booking fee to rip off. Yeah, I wanted to chat about the booking fee. I mean, I know the club don't get this booking fee. I think it's the agent, isn't it, Ticketmaster, that get the fees, I believe. Is that right?
As far as I know, but it's the same. You get charged for using credit cards, don't you? So they just do it, don't they? It's on. When you go to a concert, you can pay up to about 10, 15 quid on some concerts.
It's the same, isn't it? It's just a modern thing. It does my head in, because you're thinking in the olden days you'd actually go and buy a ticket and someone actually would be doing the work, wouldn't they? Like find your seat, print your ticket off. Now you do all that work yourself, and then you have to pay the privilege of it as well. So it actually drives me up the wall. But I mean, it is a rip off, but it's any ticket you buy, you're looking at that. So it's not like it's anything unusual. And unfortunately, I'm sure the club can't really do anything about it.
No, I mean, Ticketmaster are raking it in, aren't they? When you're working out £8 off, 21,000 or whatever it is people, it's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, for next to no work.
Just sitting in an office. I've got the systems all set up, but
we're not even getting a new ticket, are we?
no, you're not even you got to load it onto your
That's a shame, isn't it? Because it's something you could collect over the years, couldn't you? If you had a ticket with a different design on it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. So unless you say you've lost it, of course, and they'll replace it. But you've got to pay for that, haven't you, if you said you lost it?
Yeah.
I assume. But yeah. Marcus J. All the seats are left. All the naughty seats are left. Wayne Ghost, I think 24,000 ticket will be reached easy. Yeah, I quite agree. Let's have a look. Wayne Littlewood, based on these prices, we could easily hit 24k. James Hawker, good evening, James. There's always something to complain about every summer. Usually the tickets, if I lived near Cov, I would happily pay it. Yeah, unfortunately, you do get people that are going to moan all the time. Mad Frankie, good job keeping all this going.
Oh, that's not quite right, Ken.
Go on then, what is it?
Good job keeping this going.
Thanks, Frankie. The Mackham Cabby. Oh. Yep, against the Toon. How funny. Wow. They're still following us, so they must like us. The Mackham Cabby, bless him. Okay, I think I'm up to date now. I think.
Are you?
Well,
that's the last comment. I just think he's jumped to those.
Yeah, jumped to
those. Somebody reckons he's going to raid my wardrobe for that 70s night at the Old Shepherd.
Yeah.
Well, here's a comment. Just so Mark Wayne, I remember these. This is the good old days when you used to have a season ticket book and you rip them out, and then you'd have extra numbers at the back for the cup games, didn't you? And then tell you what one you had to use.
Voucher book. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
It used to be a bit of a laugh, didn't it? Where can you get him off the screen, Ken?
Sorry, I pressed it.
Because I remember my dad, it'd be like, "What number is it? What number is it?" It's like a big deal, wasn't it? Oh, number 3. Why is that then? Does it matter? And then the cup tickets, we used to laugh about that, saying, "Well, we're going to use about one of them." It's like, yes. Jonah Fat Cat says, I feel like Miles can get a crow going on the DJ sticks. And now, you see, we need to understand Jonah's American humor, I think. We'll get there in the end. Now, I don't know about this. Fan Hunt says, when on the TV cameras point towards a bunch of blocks where the T-shirt isn't allowed, first floor lounge, for example, seems a bit daft to me to ban the club's shirt in parts of our own ground.
Yeah, that is a silly rule, to be fair. I'm not quite sure what they're getting at there.
But we get around it by wearing a sky blue T-shirt.
Yeah.
And
I wear a sky blue Harrington, so yeah, there's ways.
You can wear a jacket. They can't stop you wearing a jacket. You know, it's a replica kit. They say you can't wear.
Yeah, I wear sky blue pants, but you can't see those. So,
hold on. Let me just another one here. Yes, Vicky is correct about our current players being good in the past. Let's face facts. Sims doesn't fit into our current system, and he won't want to be a bench warmer. He has to be sold. Okay.
Any more, Kent? And we'll go on to the next subject.
Yeah, another one here. Let's have a look. So, Kev 380. I saw Sunderland fan at Canley Station on Saturday. Gave him some Wembley travel tips. As we've beaten so often lately, we had a good footy chat. So, well, I'm sure he'd appreciate that because he came back a winner. So I'm sure he'd been happy. On the up, cheers for the programme, Claudio. By the way, I meant 60th birthday. I'm 65 now. My season ticket's gone up £150 in the family zone. I don't agree with the £8 admin charge. That's a lot of money on 24,000 season tickets. So, yeah, I quite agree. Actually, it's a lot. It is gone up. That's £150. A big jump, isn't it?
because they're falling in line with the other adults.
Yeah, well, he paid obviously cheaper previously, so
Yeah, it's
just
also really contentious, wasn't it? As you can see at the bottom, like and subscribe. Contact us on info@skybluefans.tv. Join in and be a guest if you want to do that. We'll be quite happy to have you on. Some people have contacted us. If you have contacted us and haven't replied, I think we haven't replied. I know Miles has. Check your junk mail because he's definitely sent replies back to ask when you want to come on. If you could do that, or just contact us direct. I'm on Facebook. We're all on Facebook. It's probably easier that way sometimes, just to drop a personal message. I'll read all messages. I just like to read messages just to make sure there's nothing to.
He doesn't always comment back, but he reads them.
Yeah, I've been getting some strange ones lately. Yeah, I love you long time
and things like that.
Well, yes. Right then, I'll take the ticker off now. I think people have got the message. Well, we're going to talk about what things to talk about during the close season. And Paul Cuttyford had come up with a suggestion where he says he's not coping with it. He's fed up. He wants these seasons to start tomorrow. So, starting with you, Ken, how do you cope when there's no football? Because, of course, there's the Gold Cup, there's the World Club Championship, which I'm going to probably watch a few games because Juventus are playing. But yourself,
I struggle. So I struggle sometimes. I mean, obviously we've got the European games. It's going to come to an end on Saturday because that's the Champions League. Normally finishes the whole season off. Champions League is on Saturday evening, isn't it? And that's it. The football season is officially over. So what do? Maybe try and get a little holiday somewhere, but that's always not possible. Maybe nip down to the caravan in Skeggy for a couple of weekends, maybe. And then, there's not a lot really. It's boredom, to be honest. I can't wait for the season to start again. All them fixtures to come out and start planning where we're going to go next season. I can't wait for the fixtures to come out. So I struggle sometimes, but I tend to try. That's why I try and go pre-season. I mean, pre-season, I think they're playing in Portugal this year. They haven't announced the official dates yet, but I believe it's Portugal, early July, and then they've got to announce their opponents and the venue. So hopefully I'm going to try and get over there as well. So that will break the season up a little bit. Then before we know it, it'll be August and we'll be back running again.
So Jack, Ken's mentioned the fixture dates. I think you've got them, haven't we?
Yep, it is. Here we go. So Thursday, the 26th of June is the landmark date to look out for. We get the full season fixture list, and I'm sure within about 5 minutes of those being announced, half of them will be changed for Sky TV's pleasure.
Yeah.
So simple as if you're going to buy a season ticket, which obviously we all want you to do, don't whinge when Sky change it, because Sky are going to change it. They always will, and they will to teams that are doing well. So if we're doing well, again, don't whinge. Sky can change it. And towards the end of the season, they only have to give 4 weeks' notice. So if you're buying a season ticket, you've just got to understand that games will be Friday nights, some will be Monday nights, some will be Sunday lunchtime or afternoon. It's just going to happen. And we'll get a load of Saturday 12 o'clock kickoffs as well. And we've just got to get used to it. And if we went to the Premier League, we'd only have 38 games, not 46. And that'd be even worse. Yeah. So the positivity of Sky changing your fixtures means that we're actually doing quite well. So, yeah, the opening weekend set to be Friday to Sunday, the 3rd of August, 1st to the 3rd of August. Oh, no, that's League One and League Two. Championship's the week after. Why are we starting later?
It's to maximise the TV figures, isn't it? Because they've got live games as well. So,
well, yeah, there you go. End on the same weekend, 2nd and 3rd of May. And also on the same day, we've got the Carabao Cup Round 1 draw just a little bit later on in the afternoon of that day. So it's a Thursday. I'm sure we'll be doing a live show that evening. So come and join us and we can talk about the fixture release. And it's only 4 weeks away.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So, Jack, you a cricket fan? Do you watch cricket during the summer?
Yeah, I used to play cricket. I'm a big cricket fan. I had the England one day on today while I was working from home, which was nice to watch. A couple of test matches going on, but obviously If you're fairly local, you can make the trip to Edgbaston. Warwickshire are playing a lot, or Birmingham Bears, whatever it is these days. Or if you're just footy mad, you've got, like Ken said, the Champions League final, followed by 2 England internationals, followed by the Club World Cup, or whatever they call it nowadays, which Claudio mentioned. That's 32 teams in it, so there's lots and lots and lots of games for that. And then by the time that's done, it'll be pre-season for us. Even if you're not going to Portugal to watch us from pre-season, we might have a game in Germany again, or a couple of home games like we had Everton and Werder Bremen last year. So if you're football eccentric, just watch it all, and then it'll be around before you know it.
I'm a bit concerned because it looks like Ken's in a witness protection program. You're getting darker. You got a light in your house?
I should put the light on very shortly. Yes.
Well, we can't see you.
I can see you. I
Yeah,
can see
you
you.
see me. I can't see.
I'm still here.
That's Vicky, England matches are on though. Will you be watching a bit of England?
Yeah, no doubt. Watch. I've been so yeah. I think pretty much like Jack said, there'll be a bit of football on, won't there? Some international, some club football, some just random matches. Bit of the women's as well. They've got some games coming up. Then you'll watch a bit of that just for some football. But yeah, predominantly my stuff. Yeah. Well, and also they've got some games next week, apparently. So probably watch a bit of that.
Yeah, I think if you're mad on, I'll watch any football. So the chances are Caroline will come downstairs or be walking through the sitting room going, I thought you didn't watch women's football. Oh yeah, it's football though. I'm just watching it.
And it's passing the time, isn't it? But yeah, predominantly my summer, while I was in the field on Saturdays, because my summer football season's finished. Now it's music festival season. So that helps get me through the summer as well. So I spent last weekend in a field, listening to music, drinking cider, good times. And that'll help you.
Were you doing ease and whiz as well, were you?
I was not doing that.
So who'd you go and see then? What was on the festival?
So it's a tribute festival. So there's loads of tribute acts. So Rolling Stones, Queen.
What are the names? What are the names?
What are the tribute act names?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember all of those. I just know what the real act was. The Queen was called Flash. Flash was the Queen one. Who was the best? Called the Stone. The Queen one was really good actually. Then there was a Madonna one. She was really good. What's that one with Johnny Rotten in it? They were there. Yeah, just a whole range of stuff. Like lots of sort of 80s, 90s type stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, I had to go at paddle tennis today. Kenilworth, I can't move now. My back's aching. My bum muscles are aching. My thighs are aching. I haven't done anything since I stopped playing hockey for about maybe 8 months ago. So yeah, and also I stumbled.
Normal tennis and paddle tennis.
Yeah, and I stumbled and fell into the net, which they had to lift the net up again.
Well, yeah, you should downsize to table tennis. It's a little bit easier.
There's like a big, massive line across my back from the wire in the net. I hit it at some pace. I believe me, it's at some pace. But I tell you what, I've never done it before. That's a great game. Yeah, really good game.
That's the one that Jason Manford plays, isn't it, Claudio? That's the one that he's been trying to introduce into school. What's the difference? What's the difference between that and normal tennis?
Well, basically, it's like playing squash and tennis. So you got glass screens at the back. Sort of cages at the side, and the ball's alive a lot. So, but it's just a nice game to play. I thought, yeah, it's good, good fun. And it's the fastest growing sport apparently. It's from what I gather, it's saved Kenilworth Tennis Club. There's that many people who joined because of it. They've got 4 courts, I think.
Oh, wow.
So that's quite impressive. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I don't know if I'm going to do how much more I'm going to do, but if you ask me back again, I'll go. But yeah, I find it hard. I mean, I love it when the World Cup's on because next year would be great because it's in the States, Canada and Mexico. So the games are going to be like 8 o'clock onwards at night and I can just watch them all. I remember in the Japan World Cup, was it Japan World Cup? Oh, no, Brazil World Cup. And I stayed up till 1 o'clock. Because if you remember, England were due to play at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they changed the time because of viewing figures. And I don't know who it was they played, but they changed the time to earlier. And so I thought, I'm going to watch every game as much as possible. And I stayed up till 1 in the morning to watch, I think it was Ivory Coast v Japan. And I didn't want to go to bed. And I stayed up to about 3:30 in the morning. I was going to work as well. And it was 0-0. It's absolutely pointless. Should have just gone to bed. But yeah, I'll try and watch some of that club championship. But the trouble is, you don't know what channel these things are on. I can never work. You're constantly trying to find the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, did anybody see Chelsea last night?
For the second half.
Second half was good.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. We talk about game of two halves. If you'd have watched the first half, you'd have gone, oh, absolute garbage. And then if anything in the second half, you'd have thinking, God, these are world beaters. And I watched them and I thought, that's how you attack at pace, the way they did it, how you destroy teams on the break. And I watched that and I kind of thought, that's what we need to learn to do at our club, is to attack like that. When you've got a break on, similar to what Sunderland try and do, you know, you just do it quick. You go at pace and everybody gets up there quick. And I feel we haven't quite got that. Well, we haven't got it at all. We haven't got enough legs in our team who can run like that. But it was a hell of a second half. I'd say I was really impressed with the way they went about it. Yeah, any comments, Ken, on what people do while there's no games on?
Well, just a few comments to catch up on. Sorry, there is a few.
Yeah. I'll let you carry on.
Lee Dan, I'll say fair play to Sunderland. They weren't the best team in the playoffs, but they got the job done. O'Hare was crying in the changing rooms. Thought he had it in the bag. Grass isn't always greener. So, yeah, you're right there. Paul Stratton, hope Frank's 6 players coming in will take us from a good side to a top side. So bring it on. Well, hopefully he will bring 6 in. I mean, I don't know if he's definitely going to bring 6 in, but it'll be nice to get 6 players in. Cameron De Rossi, Frank Lampard, will he give the young players a chance from the academy? If there's any talented young players in there, well, that'll be interesting to see if he will. I know he did that. He did that a couple of times at Derby and a couple of times at Everton, didn't he? He used a couple of young players. So I don't know whether he'll do that here. It's whether they're good enough, isn't it? That's the problem. Finn says Sargent, lovely jubbly. That'd be nice player to get. Sunderland are the 20%ers, said the Leicestershire Sky Blues. Gustavo says Bellingham overrated. Mark Rainbow, he says don't forget the percentage we get from the salon fees is on profits, not the total transfer fee. For example, if Vic goes for 50 million, we get 10% of 25 million, the profit. So yeah, so people get a bit carried away sometimes and thinking we've got a lot of money coming back when it's actually only on the profit. So you're right there, Mark. It is only on the profit. So bear that in mind.
Well, the buyout is 65 million, isn't it? I think
something like that. Yeah. He's our friend, Mad Frankie. Last season was Lampard. With Robin's players. This season is Lampard's team. But the championship this year is going to be a lottery. Yeah, some good sides come down and got up, to be fair, as well. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure Birmingham and Wrexham will spend a bit of money. Jonah Fat Cat from America. Playoff final was a failed hate watch. Sunderland are very good at absorbing pressure. Hope they're ready to do that for 40 times next season. Well, you get that impression, don't you? I mean, they have to buy big, don't they, if they want to stay there? They really do.
What's going on with the Barry White we've got here tonight?
I know, my voice is going. Maybe somebody else will have to take over in a minute. A bit like you. Wayne goes, hi, Cabby. Congrats on the promotion. Who else? We've got Paul Stratton says, hi, Cabby. And they're all very complimentary. Good luck in the Premiership. Don't waste your money. 200 million in the bank. And then the Cabby comes back and says, dreading it really. The whipping boys. Yeah, well, you may well be. Might see you next year. Well, hopefully not if we go up. Kev 380. Look, on the bright side about Sunderland, we save £40 on petrol v only having to go to Sheffield United instead. 4 hours travel time, you wouldn't have got that back. And we get to see them walloped every other week. So that's a good thing about it. We didn't have to travel up to the stadium light again.
We don't have to do it. What, them and Middlesbrough and Hull? That's the worst ones. Probably Plymouth. I mean, they're doing it. They're doing it every week, aren't they? Newcastle, Sunderland. I mean, next season, Carlisle v St Truro.
Wow.
And Gateshead v St Truro in that National League. That's some travelling, isn't it?
That's some journey. I mean, you got to have an overnight stop there, surely.
Well, we've actually got lucky in the fact that the two furthest distances we travel in Sunderland and Plymouth have both left the division.
Yes.
Two that have joined us are our two most close rivals in Birmingham and Leicester. So we've actually done in net mileage gain. I mean, I've got the travel distances here. So we are fifth on the list.
Hold on a minute. You held these back, didn't you? Just bringing them up now.
I told you I've got stuff for you, and you know. So it comes as no surprise, being very, very close to the centre of the country. We've actually got the least miles to travel. So this is based on land travel. I think it's stadium to stadium by car, bus, or however you want to, by land travel, literally. So we have to travel 4,583 miles in total, ground to ground. Birmingham are obviously the second with 4,600. Middlesbrough are top with 9,080. Swansea are actually second, 9,057 miles they have to travel. So we have done better. I was trying to find this for last season to see what our difference is, because obviously losing Plymouth and Sunderland and gaining Birmingham and Leicester, we've got a lot less to travel. I was trying to see how much it's come down, but either way, it's positive. We are very, very lucky that we have the least. I say we that live in Coventry have the least distance to travel. Obviously, Claudia, you've got your friend Keith in Canada.
Yeah.
You've got commenters that travel from France. And all sorts. Miles has got friends that live in Ipswich that went.
Mark White lives in Ipswich. Yeah,
it's like fair play to all of you that do, but we do have to count ourselves lucky in the fact that we have only got 4,500 miles to travel in total, not double, which Middlesbrough do. We are lucky, but it's interesting just glancing at teams. Obviously, looking at like us, Birmingham, Derby, Leicester have all got a smaller amount of miles. Even Stoke's only just over 5,000. The Sheffields are 5,500. And then you look at like Portsmouth, Norwich, Swansea, and Middlesbrough, even Hull, like we say, they've got the distances to travel. And Ipswich, I know it's not as far in total mileage as Middlesbrough is, but there's no nice roads to get to Ipswich, is there really? Not until you get to the A14, and even that's not as ideal as a motorway.
Yeah, very true.
Interesting distances. We've done well out of other teams getting promoted and relegated this season.
Yeah.
What are you guys? Have you guys got a away day you're looking forward to specifically next season? Is it a local derby or is it a new ground in Wrexham, for example?
Wrexham for me. I'm looking forward to going to Wrexham away. And it's nice to go to Leicester again. Our mates down the road, and Birmingham, of course. Yeah, I always enjoy the short trips as well. And of course, we've got Southampton as well down by the coast. So that'll be a good possible weekend there. Southampton, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Southampton as well. I'm hoping that's going to be like on a nice Saturday at the beginning or the end of the season.
That could be a Wednesday night, Vic.
Because my daughter's down at Andover, so already me and Luca said, right, that's one we've penciled in. And her fella is a Southampton fan, so that'll be interesting. Yeah. So, Ken, is there any comments about what people do while they're not watching football, or can they live without football?
Well, let's have a look. The Mackham Cavi did come back and say, good luck to Coventry next season. Well, thanks very much for that. Let's have a look. Lee Dan says something here. each panel member, what's the main position in the first 11 you would strengthen, and who would you like to come in to fill the position? Well, we'll probably come to that in a minute and ask that. This one here, it's got one here from Leicestershire Sky Blue. Been watching the start of the Isle of Man TT racing, which started this week, but rain stopped qualifying in the evening, so that was short-lived.
Have you ever watched that? Absolute nuts.
I haven't. No, I haven't watched it.
Absolute nuts. So, well, for me, I'm not a big motorbike fan. You know, I mean, I had a Vespa back in the day, but I'm not. Those guys, they live dangerously.
Yeah,
incredible.
If you come off a bike like that, you can get hurt, aren't you? Yeah. Jordan Fat Cat said, "Do not watch the Gold Cup. It's shocking."
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Asante scored, didn't he? But is that what the Gold Cup is? He scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he did score. In fact, it was a good finish, actually. When did you see the goal?
Yeah. And I see Jay De Silva's been called up for Wales. That's very good.
All looking good. Realm of possibility. I usually watch old Cov highlights on YouTube when I miss us playing.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah. Ian Small, good evening, Ian, in France. Want to discuss CCFC history? I love the series you're doing, Claudio.
Cheers, Ian. We're just going to keep going along all through the summer. Me and Jim. There's so much. We're contacting old players to come on, and we're desperately trying to get older players to come on because it's a chance for them to talk about their memories, and it's going to be archived. And Miles said something really nice actually to Jim Brown, is saying that what we do is quite unique because we do this stuff. It's all current stuff, like all the other podcasts and other YouTube channel people. But the History Channel is a unique thing because it's about the history of the club, and it's going to be there. You can go back to it years later and learn about the 1930s, whereas stuff like this, or during the season, after the first game of the season played and we've talked about it, you're not going to go back to it 6 weeks later and rewatch that program. It's current, isn't it? You know, it's pointless. Basically, I won't say it's pointless, but you know what I mean. Once it's gone, it's gone. But the history stuff, I think it's worth it, and of course, it's archived, and it's about the future and people in years to come. It's there. So, and we've got to do it now because I'm 60, I'm 73. So it's we've got to keep recording.
Yeah, keep it going. Jonah Fat Cat, I'm going to try out MLS, heading to Toronto FC match on Saturday. We'll be documenting it on TikTok and YouTube. So, yeah, if you want to go and watch him, you've got to go on the Jonah Fat Cat's YouTube channel and you can catch up on all the American football there. I'm sure he'll document it well. Ryan Matthew, it's hard to take the Club World Cup seriously. Barcelona or Liverpool aren't in it. And they're both champions in two of the biggest leagues. Yeah, well, you're right there. They're not, are they?
There's some sort of criteria for it, which is ridiculous. But what I don't understand is this: the clubs in the Premier League, and you probably may all think differently, I don't know, but they moan about the amount of games they play. Man United just finished the season and they've gone straight away for a post-tour and they're playing days later. I think
mental,
what is going on? You moan about
it's all money, isn't it? Yeah, it's all money. The money they generate on kit sales over in Malaysia or wherever they went. That's what it's all about. It's about selling kits and stuff. And unfortunately, because they lost a lot of money by not qualifying to the Champions League, Man United, they have to make it up somewhere else, I suppose.
It's just disgusting, though, isn't it? It's taking away like things like the magic of the FA Cup. Like I watched more than one tie this season. I think Tanmouth was one. I think Kidderminster might have been another one, where these teams are like competing against a higher league team for the 90 minutes, and then they get done in extra time because the fitness levels and everything is not enough. And they deserve that chance to take that team back, either back home or to go to the big ground. And just because a few teams in the Premier League think that it's not worth their time and money, the FA have agreed to abolish it. So I just think it's disgusting because that money and that revenue and those memories to those fans as well, like Tamworth fans who could have got to go to whatever they call White Hart Lane these days, is would be like a once in a lifetime memory, wouldn't it? And it's been robbed of them because, and I know what you said, and then the end of the season comes and they're all jetting off to go and play somewhere else. It just makes a mockery of it. Personally, I think the rule should be, if you don't want to play the replay, you forfeit. So you play your game. If you can't beat the team in 90 minutes and you don't want the replay, you give it to the other team and let them into the next round.
I also don't think that there should be extra time. Like on our two-legged game against Sunderland, I just think it's unfair. You've played both 90 minutes at each other's ground. You shouldn't have the extra time.
No.
I think you should go straight to penalties.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be extra time.
While I do agree with Vicky, it did that rule change did save us an additional trip to Hillsborough again this year.
Oh yeah.
We've all been there too many times in the last 2 years. We've played against them too much. Thank you for scrapping that, so we didn't have to go back there.
Off for that. I've got a few more comments. Mark Rainbow, things that you're doing while you're not watching the football. My off season will involve buying records, going to small local gigs. This is something Claudio does, and getting told off for playing my records. Might rewatch some of the games I recorded during the last few years. Yeah, quite agree. It's nice to go and.
Actually, I got a chocolate T-shirt to match my new headphones I got me for my birthday. But it's.
I noticed you got new headphones. Yes.
Genesis T-shirt.
You did well on your birthday. You got a few good presents, didn't you?
I've done really well, actually.
Yeah. Paul Stratton, close season will be good, especially if we make some quality signings. Again, it's all down to Doug. If Doug wants, this is for Finn. If Doug won't spend, we need to let Frank Lampard bring in some loanees. Yeah, we do. We didn't have any loanees, did we, last year in the end? Did we? No, we didn't, did we?
No.
And so, yeah, it'd be interesting if he does let him get some loanees. Rich T said that the ladies Euros. Rob Murray says if Frank still has good contacts at Chelsea, there seems to be some really good young talent there that maybe he could tap into. Yeah, I'm sure there is. And Gustavo, the Coventry team are but a dream. They can come into the pitch like phantoms. They play old cock-fighting cocks, trot them out like banter. My great godfather poem. Was it a poem from the 1930s regarding City? Oh, there you go. Cocks fighting cocks, Bantams. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, where's that comment? I'm looking down at it.
That's right. There it is. That's the one.
It's right near the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I was looking at others.
Santa United, Warwickshire are playing 3 matches at Rugby School in August. Oh. Okay. Handy if anybody lived in that area. Doug will do what's necessary as always. So, yeah, okay. Unless you send more comments.
Can I just bring this comment up? Sorry. Oh, no, so you go first.
I don't like cricket. Oh, no, I love it, of course. 10cc. TT is the Ballocks, according to Galson Legrand.
Oh, and this one here, this one you're like, will Coventry City come to Italy? Oh,
sorry.
Did you take it off?
I didn't mean.
Will Coventry come to Italy during the break friendly games? Well, they have played in Italy before, haven't they? Friendly wise, Claudio?
Have they? I don't know. We've had Italian clubs over here.
I'm sure they have over the years. I'm sure they've gone.
No, I can't remember going to Italy. I mean, I'm going to Italy if that counts.
Oh right, okay. I'm sure you'd go over and watch, wouldn't you? If
yeah. Well, David M says England Portugal tomorrow. Is this the ladies? Is it women's Euros?
Yeah,
Friday and Tuesday. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
friendly before the Euros, I think it is.
Yeah.
Finn put Vicky on the ket. Lol. Ketamine. Imagine that.
You're going to get me in trouble. I've got a responsible job, you know. I can't be doing stuff like that.
Easy. Where's the field, Vic?
Whiz.
Lee Dansport, Championship 25-26, bookies odds, Ipswich favourites, Southampton, Sheffield United, haha. Then Coventry joint fourth favourites alongside Birmingham, Middlesbrough, Leicester fifth with their up-teen points deduction.
Well, it looks like they're going to get like a lot of points deducted because they got away with it last time, didn't they? Because they went up. Now that they're going to come down hard on them, and I think what I've been quoted, some of them 10 to 12 points, I reckon.
Oh.
They could be languishing at the bottom for a while.
Jonah Fat Cat said, Cloudy said to do the show in his pants if we get Sergeant, by the way. Yeah.
Yes, you did say that, didn't you?
You're obsessed with that. You said you were going to do that if we got promoted, and because that didn't work, you've just moved on to something else. You just want to do the show in your pants, don't you?
He's determined to wear his sky blue pants, yeah.
By Mankini. Up to no good says best sign this summer will be if Doug buys a stadium. That won't happen, but they need to do the deal. 6th of June is the deadline, so something needs to happen. Lee Dan, up to no good. I would rather see Doug DK use the cash to improve our squad. Forget about the stadium now. That will come in time. Far more important to get the quality players first. Apparently, Mad Frankie knows we can get some stuff, Vicky.
Go on, do the voice then. Where's the stuff?
Yeah, Vicky, I can get you stuff if you need it, love.
I will say that's better than your Mrs. Doubtfire, Claudio.
What do you think so, Jack? I'll do what I like, Mars, then on tonight.
He can't cut you off. We can still cut you off.
That's true.
I bet he's not watching at home seething at your impression.
James Walker, I've got to say, James Walker, of course, who does watch the City and lives in Hull. I watch baseball and rugby. They can't take the place of City, but it will do. I'm also a Madrid fan, so I'll have the Club World Cup.
It's always good that summers as well when there's like Commonwealth Games or Olympics or something. So there's lots of more. I like those summers are better as well when there's lots of other sport to watch.
Yeah, it's a weird year, isn't it?
Yeah, because
it's an odd number. That's why. That's what happens in odd numbers. You don't get so many sports in the summers for some reason. Finn, can't imagine Vic often windmills in a field.
See what you started now, Claudia.
How many festivals are you going to, Vicky?
4 more.
You like camping then, do you?
Some of them. The one I've just been to is the longest camping one, and we do glamping anyway. I don't do camping. Glamping is the way. But some of the other ones are just like a 1 day, or we stay in like a lodge or something. So it's that was the most hard one.
See, Caroline's mum lives in between. She's like halfway between where they do WOMAD normally. I think it's at Malmesbury, isn't it? I think, and obviously Glastonbury. And she's always wanted to do them. And I says, well, we can do. She says, but we'll have to stay at my mum's because I'm not camping. So she wants to go every day. No, you can't. That's not going to work, is it?
Yeah, the glamping is my limit. I couldn't. Yeah, that's how I get around it. I'm not really sure I'm one for actual camping. Here's a comment.
Well, yeah.
Good old Sims.
Wayne Ghost says maybe we could have some watch-alongs of classic games from years gone with commentary from the panel. Now, Jack has suggested this, and we could.
In the works, we're doing it.
Yeah, we could do it and kind of try and be funny, not be serious about it. Just basically commentate it like it's just watching it. If you know what I mean.
You can do your Mad Frankie voice.
Yeah. I could do. Mark Rainbow. There was a time when City used to go on the post-season tour straight after the season finished. There was a French tour and Zimbabwe.
I remember when they went to Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Oh, they came back with a player.
Yeah.
A very good one.
Very good one.
Dawn says, I reckon we get Vicky off her and persuade her to get a Sims tattoo.
Oh dear.
I bet
she knows I'm a wimp and I don't have tattoos because that's like, yeah.
I was about to say, has Dawn got tattoos?
Yes.
Yeah, of course she has. Yeah, definitely. Garvston Legrand says the Coventry team are but a dream. They come onto the pitch like phantoms. Oh, you read that one, didn't you?
I read it, but it's supposed to be some sort of poem, isn't it? So you
It
can
is
read
a poem, yeah. The fighting cocks. I wonder what you're reading at the time. And all I heard was cocks. I thought, oh, care. Show what's happened. Sky Blue. Warwickshire play at Leicester. Have you read that one as well?
No,
Warwickshire play at Leicester T20 Blast at Grace Road, 4th of July, M69 Cricket Derby. Okay, then, Jack, you're a cricket fan then. Going a bit off piece, as they say. So, has things like the T20, the 100 over game, the 50 over game, do you reckon it's saved cricket? Or are you one of these purists who like test matches?
Yeah, I love a test match. I will happily sit and watch 6-7 hours of cricket every day with the red ball in their whites. The T20s, it's exciting, but it's just not test cricket, in my opinion. I did go and see a women's Ashes game summer before last, and it was Edgbaston. It was very, very entertaining, to be fair. I've not seen the 100, but I like the fact that they get, if you buy a ticket to a 100 game, the women's game is immediately before the men's game. So you go in all day. You don't just buy a ticket for one or the other. You buy a ticket and you can go watch the women's 100 game and then the men's 100 game back to back. And it's helping for sure.
And also, I suppose the idea is that you get new people watching that might end up watching the test games, because it is a nightmare with our weather, because you can. They normally start on a Thursday, do they, or a Wednesday if it's a 5 match?
Yeah, Wednesdays and Thursdays are the two normal start days. Sometimes it's a Friday, and then they can do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They did over the weekend recently.
You can have a washout for 2 games. You got a ticket for it. You don't see any cricket. I've been to Antigua. I've been to their cricket ground, and I'll tell you now, when you actually walk on the surface of that cricket pitch, I don't know how they play cricket on it, because it's just concrete. It's so hard. And I thought, this is ridiculous. This isn't. You're playing like playing in a car park. And when we went, they were holding it was a festival season. It was carnival season. So they're using it as like the main arena as well. And there was no like built up stage like you get in some places at football grounds. You're on the pitch. So I thought, this ain't any good, is it? But that's where, what's his name, got the record score, wasn't it? Can't think of his name. I played for Warwickshire, didn't he?
Brian Lara,
yeah. Yeah, we got the record innings, wasn't it? It was there. But, Lee Dan, Cloudy doing his showing his pants whilst doing elephant impression. That could be
same thing.
That could be risky, couldn't it?
Very.
Alison Berry, Wimbledon helps. Now, have we got any tennis fans? Ken, you look like a tennis fan.
Do I? No, I don't mind Wimbledon, to be fair. Yeah.
I bet you've played just as much tennis as Raducanu has this year.
I wouldn't say I'm a tennis player, but I do like watching it, yeah. I do like watching Wimbledon. It's quite interesting, yeah. But when I get time, obviously.
Have any of you guys been to Wimbledon at all? Have you done it?
No, I would like to though. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Some strawberries and cream, very expensive there, isn't it? Strawberries and cream.
Yeah.
We did it. I did it back in the 70s. School trip when I was at Mighton School in Warwick. Shout out to Mighton School there. So 2 years running. We went down for the day. We spent most of the time just walking around Wimbledon, and eventually got to see Vijay Amritraj and his brother, Amritraj and Amritraj. And we saw, I'm trying to think of the 2 Aussies, really good double players. You basically couldn't get in. You could queue up, and you kind of may have got into number 1 court, but we hardly saw any tennis whatsoever both years that I went. I saw Adriano Panatta, the Italian, and that was it really. Yeah, but I can't be doing. You see them all queuing up to get in. Yeah. I'm thinking I can't be doing with that.
No,
all that queuing. I'm not.
I'd like to watch this for the experience. I think. I mean, like, I prefer to watch it on the TV. So you can actually watch it, like you said. But it'd be nice just to go for the experience once. I think.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to do it, I just want to go centre court. Yeah, and just do that
Like a proper
basically.
treat, like do it properly.
Yeah. Sat next to David Beckham. That'll do.
Yeah.
Cliff Richard, as long as he doesn't sing. That's,
Hey, I like a bit of Cliff Richard. Leave him alone.
you look like a Cliff Richard. Oh, yeah. Young ones, is that your favourite? What's your favourite? Cameron Rossi, yes, Coventry City FC, I like the FC, has played in Italy. Specifically, they participated in a pre-season tour in July 2014, which included a match. This was on Google. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Mostly love of music, still waiting for the official CCFC awards, waiting much later than most years, but is better than doing it before the season has even finished. Well, it was weird because all the supporter groups did the player of the season after the last game of the season.
Yeah.
So it's a strange one. Something tells me I'm not sure the invitation is going to be open to everybody. That wouldn't surprise me.
So do we think, this awards evening they've got in July that's obviously for this season that's gone?
Yeah.
Is Tavares going to be there? Is Patterson going to be there? Burrows and Howley going to be there?
I know it's a nonsense.
That's the problem we've got, isn't it?
What if we've sold like a Ben Sheaf by then? So then Sheaf's not going to be there, for example.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not ideal.
No, it's not good. There must be a reason they've done that. Maybe the ground's not available, or where they're going to hold it wasn't available. But I'm sure they could have found.
I don't know if you're on. One of the staff got married.
Oh right, okay.
Like the second, Mr. Edwards, I think it was. One of the coaches got married on that day, which is why. Just come out and say that. I mean, what's the problem? Paul Stratton, IPL has saved cricket. 14-year-old Indian earning 50 grand. Oh yes, of course. Do you watch any of that, Jack?
Not particularly. I like reading scorecards and going, oh, that's interesting, and that's about it. You sort of read it and go, I don't know half these players because, like you say, there's a 15-year-old Indian that you've never heard of, and it's a franchise essentially that it doesn't excite me. I like proper competition cricket, international cricket.
I'm always amazed because obviously there's millions of people live in India that they've got. They're obviously a massive fascination. It's their sport, isn't it? Cricket. But you think the amount of people live there, as well as China, or even China, you think they'd have decent football teams, wouldn't you? I can understand why they can't do it. They've got so many to pick from, and then you get somewhere like Uruguay, Denmark, some of these countries with 3 million people. Always have decent footballers.
I just seen a comment about Steve Curry actually saying, "Where's his mug?" Well, Steve, I need your address, mate, to send it.
Yeah, give you address, Steve. Give me your address.
Give me your address. I don't know where you live.
I think we sent that to you, and then you lost your phone. I think that's on the.
I haven't got it. I haven't had it, so I'm up to date with all my deliveries now. So I don't know if you resend it. Yeah, if you resend it, mate, I'll get it to you. No problem. If you live in Coventry, I'll deliver it myself. If not, we'll put it in the post. Yeah.
Ken's been in the wars with losing things, and
unfortunately, I lost my phone. So there is a lot of information.
Marbles, yes. David M. Tour de France starts in July. The sprint finishes are worth watching. Yes.
I watch too much any sport really. I just like watching sport. So if there's something on, just watch it. Give it a go. And I like watching live sports. I'll go to see bits if I can.
Someone's mentioned the cheese rolling. Did you watch that the other day?
No.
It's mental. The cheese rolling. What is that all about?
I saw the video of the one bloke went absolutely flying and was like rolling in. Well, he was out of control and just falling down this hill at a rate of knots. And as he hit the bottom, there was about 4 or 5. I don't know whether they're staff or paramedics or something that went and like crowded around him. I didn't read how he did, but if he's fine, it's quite an entertaining watch. I mean, it's a bit cringy, but it was quite funny. I hope the bloke's all right though.
Well, so if he's okay, well, I think it's funny. You can laugh. If it wasn't, it's not great. It's difficult.
Pagagon says, I've been enjoyed it, got a ticket in a draw, but I once went swimming competition. It was amazing how swimmers seem to skim on the top water at incredible speeds. Yes, and
David M says Tour de France. I don't know if you like the Tour de France. Starts the 5th of July. Sprint finishes are well worth watching. So there you go.
yeah, I'm sure I read that out. Anyway, yes.
Didn't see it, but I just caught my eye.
Graham Crockwell says, I know people complain about after the game with the car park being closed to let pedestrians leave first, but please remember what happened at Liverpool and hope quick recovery for all of them injured.
Yeah, it was a terrible situation, wasn't it? After up in Liverpool, hopefully they'll be all.
All I'm going to say on that is that I'm always worried when there's big crowds. I must admit, I wouldn't want to be in that crowd. I just thought I cannot see how any authority can police something that big on the day. There's just too many people. There's too many areas. I don't care if they've got road closures. There's always a way, isn't it? You've got to be so careful. And I mean, I won't say much on it really, but I mean, well, terrible. Well, he's drugged up, wasn't he? So there you go.
It was awful. Yeah. Matt Frankie says, Ken will find out where you live.
Oh,
well, hopefully I will if he sends me address again.
I found the email. I've resent it to you, Cam.
Just resend it me. That's fine. I'll get it. Yeah. I'll get it. Is it in Coventry, Vic?
Yes.
Oh, that's all right then. Yeah.
Right near me, actually.
all right. So what's this here? Oh yeah. Sorry, it's the sorry. Anyway, I've got sidetracked there. Sorry about that, people. Right, I think we've caught up with all the comments. Like and subscribe, of course. Let's Mars dressing up in his 70s gear for 70s disco night fever fancy dress, 31st of May. That's this Saturday, isn't it? The Old Shepherd, Kersley, Coventry, DJ Marsey, 7:30 till late. That should be a good night. I think we just about covered everything we're going to talk about today. But before we go, I'd say this is always a nice little view of good old Matty Godden there holding up the League One trophy. And fair play to him. That was a great win. I don't know where's Ken gone. He just disappeared. Did you guys watch? Did you watch actually? Did you? Did you watch the League One final? Anybody?
No.
In the field.
Yeah. Oh, you were still in the field. Yeah. No, I did.
I was too busy preparing for your party, Claudio. I didn't have time to watch.
Well, I did. I watched it. I thought these games are all the same, aren't they? I can't remember where I've actually ever seen a really entertaining one. If anything, it's the semi-finals where you might get the odd entertaining one where it's a bit hectic towards the end of the game or something. But it's not very often that they're so tight, aren't they?
Just against Exeter was quite a good one, wasn't it? I think that was a.
What?
Yeah, against Exeter, that was a good
final.
Yeah,
but I mean, I wonder what it was like to watch if you're neutral.
I think it's a neutral. That'd have been fairly. 4 goals, fairly entertaining. I think that'd have been a decent.
First half was a bit dull though.
Yeah. So Rob Murray says, "Any holiday plans, guys?" Jack, you going away?
Not in the summer, but I've got 3 weeks in Japan in October.
Oh, very nice.
I'll be ignoring you lot from a very, very far distance away. I might see if I can tap up Sakamoto and get him to recommend me some restaurants or something.
Are you going away, Vicky?
Not in the summer. In the autumn, I'm going to Scandinavia on a cruise.
Oh, lovely. Fjords?
Yeah, fjords, and then a bit of Denmark and around that neck of the woods.
Oh, lovely, lovely. I'm going to Sorrento, so I'm doing the Amalfi Coast in July. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, lovely. And unlike you, pair, I've done it so we're not playing football. I've done it in the pre-season, which is true football fans. That's what you do. I'm just saying. Yeah. It took some arranging to get it done before the season starts. Put it that way. Yeah. We've definitely got to go that week. Why? We just have to. But it's really hot. Yeah, but I know we just have to go that week. Andrew Gray says the skipper of my old Sunday footy team was the BBC commentator on the cheese rolling. Does it every year. Brilliant.
Cool.
That's on the BBC.
It must be.
Wow.
Paul Stratton, let's hope Matty doesn't come back and haunt us twice. Well, apparently it's a fallacy, this old players coming back and scoring goals, because if you listen to the history podcast that I did with Jim Brown this week, he'll explain the last time somebody did it. It's a fair way back, actually. It doesn't happen as often as we think.
But also, when myself and Miles interviewed him on this channel a couple of months back, he did say he wouldn't celebrate if he does score against us. So there is always that as a positive.
Oh. Knee slide to Singer's Corner.
Yeah, he's done that before.
Leicester Sky Blue, Charlton fans had a great chant for me. Oh. Lee Dan, Ken's gone to post the mug to keep Mad Frankie off his back. Of course, Vicky's going to Amsterdam. Get the supplies in to get that Sims tattoo as well.
Stock up for our festivals.
Well, I think we're going to leave it there. I've enjoyed tonight. We had a little chat about this, that, and the other. Come next Thursday, you never know. There could be a signing. We'll be back on next week. No idea what we're going to talk about. But
well, Claudio, we didn't go back to that question that I think it might have been Lee Dan that asked it about what position we'd like to strengthen first and who we'd bring in. So maybe we could talk about that next Thursday as a starting topic.
I think so, because obviously the transfer sort of window's open. We'll have some sort of idea. I think it'll be a slow summer. I think it's going to be quite methodical. Doug King, he ain't going to make many risks. I don't think he's not going to take a gamble regarding signing players, and I don't think we can afford to as a club, to be honest. Basically, I'll read these last few comments out. Fran Hunter says Sorrento and Amalfi Coast are stunning. Capri beautiful as well. Pompeii well worth a look.
Yeah.
The only trouble is with the Italian cities, they're all ruins, aren't they? They never finish anything, do they? Everything seems to be half built in Italy. I mean, when are they going to finish Pompeii off? What's all that about? Lots of traffic in Sorrento, but love the food, was great. Yes, that's right, Packagun. Caroline says, shall we hire a car? Says, no, you don't want to drive around Sorrento in an happening. What's this? Chant for Matty Godden. Godden, again, old. Sorry about the half-cooked message. I don't know what's going on there. Fran did this with Harry Shaw. Amazing. Oh, is this the trip? I went with Harry Shaw to Lake Garda, actually. That was quite incredible. That's a hell of a trip that was back in the day. Right then, I think we're going to leave it there. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Of course, like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. Glenn, yes, Taylor is off. That's right. Heard it from someone with club connections. And well, I think it's happening tomorrow. Anyway, but yes. A minute. Look, I'm trying to get off here, and they won't let me. Stop it now. Rob Murray, maybe we could talk about your favourite Sky Blue memorabilia, which actually I'll just show you something. Oh, bear with me. I can't find it now. Oh, it's out of reach. Hold on.
Come on, Claudio. So unprofessional.
I know. I'll just get off the script. Get off the screen a minute. My daughter got me this.
Cool.
Drinking vessel for away games. I've got a taste
you're not coming on away games. We've told you this. You're not coming.
I've got a taste for spiced rum, apparently. I didn't realise till my birthday party. So, yes. So that's a good idea, yeah. Sky Blue favourite memorabilia. In fact, that'd be good, actually. I'll tell you what we could do with that, Rob. I think we'll mention it probably next week, is if you have got a piece of favourite memorabilia, take a photo of it or somehow get a copy of it, send it to us, and we'll stick it on the screen and we'll talk about it. How's that?
Cool.
That seems like a good thing. John Derbyshire says, take up Morris dancing. Well, we could do that. in my pants.
Oh, no.
I normally go into the Peace Festival. Well, the Folk Festival, where they're all doing that, aren't they? I mean, not dancing around in the pants, obviously, they're fully clothed, but it's I quite enjoy that. We should get off air now, shouldn't we, really? Right. Anyway, we're going to go now. So thanks for watching. Play Up Sky Blues. And we're still in the championship, but I love it. So who cares? Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Ken, wherever you are. It's the witness protection. It's the witness protection thing, isn't it? They've come and took him away. So what's that? Oh, I'm not going to do the elephant this week. It's I'm going to have to put that to bed, as they say. So good night, all, and we'll catch you next week.
Good night.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.